I didn't understand this photograph. And I have a strange story about it. You see how it's like a UFO of a tree zoomed in, my downspout? Was that during a lightning flash? But you see how there's like this grid pattern? It is textured, almost 3D, and I've never seen a photograph have this kind. It's built right into the photograph. It's not like I don't understand it, and I can't explain it. It's like in the air rather than like a filter applied, if you know what I mean, right? Here's the thing, a strange story. I'm looking at Gobekli Tepe, and what I'm looking at are drilled holes in the columns that are built between 9,500 and like 8,000 BC, and there are something called H blocks at Tiwanaku, which is at 16 degrees and 33 south at 12,000 feet up in the Andes Mountains, and they're like andesite blocks carved, taken out of a quarry, taken across, down a mountain, across a river, erected, and they have these drills, these core drilled holes at precision. You'd need like a drill, like a diamond drill, andesite blocks, like almost as hard as diamonds. You'd need like diamond drill to drill these holes. Now, these aren't exactly as precise, but these are, like, you know, I don't know how many thousands, almost 12,000 years old, these blocks. So, them being weathered and worn, this site was in use for about 1,500 years. You'd imagine it would have seen some weather due to the age, and it's been buried for a while. But what could drill holes in those blocks that long ago? And while I was taking a photograph of it, I got this picture come up, and this one, which had a little king crown. You see how this one has a little king crown? I don't know why these two are separate, why this one has a crown, why they came up when I took this photograph. But this one is of like a very bright sort of ball lightning flash. Can you see? Pretty sure that's a UFO. And there's the other one that I just showed you in the photograph, had like a grid-like pattern in the other photograph. And this one lingered for a very long time. And this is pretty much the only photograph, well, there may be another one, but where you can see the two quite distinctly in the one shot. And I wondered if that could have been a third, or if that was drawing energy out of the cloud itself. It's very hard to tell because it's bright, but that's definitely a ship, sort of like a saucer shaped thing, right? I don't know what I don't know. But the fact that when I took this photograph about core drill in blocks from like the end of the last ice age, when people, I believe in the Fall of Atlantis, when there were survivors from Atlantis, and they built this site of worship at the base of, it's called the Taurus Mountains, which makes perfect sense because their worship, a lot of ancient worship was like bull worship, and that's because they were as above, so below, mirroring the heavens and the Pleiades and Aldebaran. Aldebaran was the brightest star in the night sky at the time, for a very long time. Sirius took over, and has been a source of, uh, dare I say, worship, for lack of a better term, um, in in its place, and a star of navigation. So, what this noticing these drill holes in these ancient blocks from so long ago has to do with these two photographs on my phone, and why they were tied together, and why this one has a little yellow king hat on it as a marker. I really don't have the slightest clue and why they'd be tied together, because I didn't do that. I just took a photograph. I have no idea. There's a little symbol here that's like a mountain with a sun above it and a check mark. I was told by an AI this is like a sharing of the photograph or something. I don't know, but I don't know. I'm curious and trying to understand why taking a photograph of this phenomenon, which is almost inexplainable according to our understanding of technology. These are supposed to be, you know, hunter gatherers, just, basically starting out. And I know that's not true. We would have to use some pretty good technology to do that today. And this, tying this to take a photograph and have them come up this way, is a curious thing. I'm just making note of it and writing this all into my book. This is evidence of an ancient, I mean, we know, we've heard of it, the legends of Atlantis. This is technology left over from an ancient civilization that survived, and its technology survived, and it started to take root, and this is the evidence of it after the fall. Okay? Just my interpretation of what I'm looking at here.